there. Gary and I were invited by Kwantlen Polytechnic University, that's a mouthful to get out actually, to attend a session that they hosted the other night at Red Truck Brewery. The intent of the event was to provide individuals some information about what the brewing course is all about. So in attendance were a number of individuals who were interested or possibly interested in attending the two-year program. And the evening provided those individuals with an overview as to what the requirements are and the prerequisites to get into the program, an idea as to what the actual two-year program entails in terms of the types of things that they would be covering, what they would be doing, and the amount of time that would be involved in doing that. And also an overview as to what happens or what has happened with individuals who have attended the course and have graduated. They're, I believe, in their third year now, and so this video is going to show three individuals. One, a young guy who is interested in attending the program and wanted to find out more about it. The second one is somebody who graduated from the program after the first year and is now one of the brewers at Red Truck Brewery. And lastly, a representative from Kwantlen University, to give us an idea as to what the evening entailed and also her impression of how the evening went in terms of satisfying their intent as to what they were trying to accomplish. Hi, so we've been at the information session at KPU down here at Red Truck Brewery. So you are interested in participating in the program?
Yeah, so pretty much I've just started homebrewing for about probably 4 or 5 months for now, and I work at a liquor store part-time, and I've been pretty much into craft beer the second I found out about it. I used to just drink kind of big guy stuff, and my brother got me into Steamworks and other kind of craft breweries. And ever since then, I found there's such a great taste for beer and that I never knew even existed. So I kind of went in more in depth with it and found out that my brother used to homebrew, even my uncle used to homebrew, and that I just wanted to get into it. And I love the whole community is amazing, and it's all about people working together to just create a fantastic product, friendly competition, and it's just great. I brewed a couple batches now, and I've had nothing but a good time, learning experiences, just having fun with friends, brewing, having a couple beers and getting into it. And then I kind of figured on my own time that I could do it as an actual job here, and there's jobs for it around the whole world, and it's just such a great thing to do. You get to create a product that you're proud of and you love, and you get to just experiment, and there's a creative outtake on it, and it's just an awesome experience as a whole. I'd love to eventually start my own brewery one day and work for any of these breweries down in Vancouver and just have a great time. Everyone I've met so far has just been super friendly and willing to help you and take you under their wing and teach you everything you need to know. And there's so much creativity that you can do that everything's still getting bigger and bigger. People haven't even found all the styles people are merging styles together, and you can almost just create your own baby between things, and it's just great. It's just a blast.
So it sounds like you're really excited about this.
Yeah.
So tonight's session with Kwantlen Polytechnic University about their brewing program.
Yeah.
Is it something that sounds like that you might be interested in doing? And if so, when might you do that?
Yeah, so the info session pretty much cleared up a lot of things for me, honestly. It kind of gave you a structure of you're pretty much guaranteed a job afterwards within the industry, and that they're really willing to take kids from this course, because there's not really many courses around here where a lot of these breweries have people that have just kind of learned from themselves and through the internet, books, and their own teachings, whereas this is a structured thing that teaches you everything about the business side of it, the brewing side, and the scientific side to kind of get you started and get you prepared to just hop into a brewery and go right away, so you're not kind of scrambling at that part. And I hope to get into it by 2018 and have a great time there for 2 years.
So I'm here with Tom Morrison from Red Truck Brewery, who is a graduate from KPU. So just some talk about your experience with KPU and then transitioning into Red Truck.
Absolutely. So I started with KPU in the inaugural class in 2014. I had a background in the industry. I had worked with Granville Island for a few years. At the time that I applied, no other program had really existed in BC, so I was looking at leaving to go back to Ontario and leave my wife while I would go for 2 years and follow my passion.
Are you from Ontario?
I am originally from Ontario, yeah.
Whereabouts?
I'm from Port Perry.
Okay.
Sort of Oshawa, Dirty Shwa.
I'm from Ontario myself.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I was in Ontario. From there I went to North Carolina as an athlete for Wake Forest University for 4 years. So I did NCAA and world competition. Basically how I got into beer was I broke my leg, or not really broke my leg, I tore all the ligaments out of my ankles, which you definitely need legs to be a runner. And so my wife bought me a homebrew kit, and I started in a wheelchair homebrewing on a stove, trying to see everything that's happening. And so I had homebrewed for 6 years before I actually made the leap into
So why did she buy you the homebrew kit?
Because I was whiny. She told me, you go from running 300 kilometers a week to nothing, and you have just a ton of energy. You don't sleep. You're kind of shaky, and I'm pretty high energy to begin with. So yeah, she bought me this brewery kit to basically like shut me up, and she opened up a can of worms. She probably was.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. She had no idea where this was going.
She had no idea. So I applied to KPU. Got into the first class right away, really bit into it. There were 32 of us at the time when we started, and by the beginning of the second year, we were down to 24. So basically, I spent those 2 years in my free time trying to learn as much of the base about as much of brewing as I could. Anything like from history, biology, biochemistry, you name it. And I had a lot of fun on the way with some friends who I still see every week because I'm in this industry. So when it came down to it, when I graduated, mission accomplished. I had a very general understanding of how the industry worked, and I was lucky enough to get my job here. So basically the biggest transition from the program to working in the professional industry is, well, one, there's no homework, so that's great. But two, there's just a lot more responsibility. So I think I was forced to grow up pretty quick, that was good for me. And I was forced to put all that knowledge into practice while adapting to this new place. And I'm not perfect, and it wasn't perfect for probably like my first few months. But I have a really good boss and a really good coworkers, so we all got on together somehow. And now that we're here and still brewing, like I'm still in school, working with this company to get better, so we can be better. And
so it's a learning process.
Oh, totally.
As you go along.
Oh, it's a huge learning process. If you ever stop learning, I heard that for the first day in class, if you ever stop learning.
It sounds like a cliche, but...
Oh, no, totally. I haven't learned something new every day. And they're not always things you want to learn. Yeah. So we've had some good times. We made some really good stuff, and there's always some mistakes, but it's craft beer, and you usually stick the landing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's worked out definitely for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This industry is amazing.
Yeah.
And everybody finds their niche. Everybody finds where they need to be. And I found it. So I'm lucky I hit it on the first try. I'm trying to think. Sorry. Basically, it's competitive. Yes, it's fun. More so. And you have more friends than enemies. Like you have like one mortal enemy, and everybody has a mortal enemy. So this industry is really inclusive. It's a really good way to learn. It's really good for people who want to pursue something more. If you want a job, there are jobs. There's easy jobs, but I think more likely you're more to find a lifetime of education and a lifelong career if you do it right. And that's what Kwantlen and this are really providing.
Super. Okay, so we're with Michelle Molnar from KPU, who is...
So I'm the administrative coordinator in the Faculty of Science and Horticulture, and what I also do is all of the recruitment for our Brewing and Brewery Operations diploma program.
And tonight's event was for what? Why were people here?
So they really wanted to learn more about the program and what actually happens, what would be expected of them, how do they get into the program, questions about the industry, and what it is that we're really trying to do.
Okay, and based on kind of what happened tonight, how do you feel it went?
I think it went really well. I think people maybe got the answers they were looking for, or their eyes were open to what the program really entails, and that is it's a lot of hard work. It's a big dedication of your time. It's 2 years full time, but that this industry is really special, and there's a reason why it's in a growth period right now and why people want to get into it. And I think we made that really clear just by the people that we had here, having Tom Morrison, a graduate, and Ken Beattie, who's the executive director of the BC Craft Brewers Guild, and talking about the industry as a whole, and telling people like it's only going to grow. You can start now, and in 2019, when you graduate, there's going to be jobs. There's going to be jobs available. We don't see any slowing down of the industry, and the growth is just insane. But there's plenty of jobs out there.
And I think the interesting aspect for me was seeing that folks are not just getting into it from the brewing side of it, although they learn that. It's from the business side as well. If they want to open up a business, and you're talking about an individual who is actually enrolled and will be doing that, right?
Yeah. So we actually get students who have a really diverse background. That's what sort of makes this program really unique, is the backgrounds that people come with. We have a lot of students who have business degrees that are thinking about getting into maybe the sales aspect of it, or the management of a brewery, and probably eventually wanting to own a brewery or manage it, be a general manager. And that they don't necessarily want to be the brewer, but they really want to know what brewing is, or they really want to know how to brew so that they can get a better understanding of the industry for sure.
And if you're going to be owning the business, you better know what the business is all about.
That's right. Yeah. You got to know, when your brewer asks you for something, or you're short on something, and you have to understand, first of all, what he's talking about. One of the biggest things is your production schedule. If you talk to any craft brewer right now, they're saying like they can't even keep up. So you have to figure out what is your production schedule going to be that you can maximize, the money that you have. And you can't ask a brewer to work 24 hours. They only have so much stamina. So you have to really be able to calculate how much time you can get, what your production is going to be, and getting out the maximum amount of volume. So there's actually a lot of business that is associated with this.
And it's interesting because when you showed the 3 circles, brewing was only one of them.
That's right.
The other 2 were basically the business side of things, which people forget about that.
That's right, and the science of it. And as a brewer, you really have to know, brewing, we always say it's a combination of science and art. And the people that get into this industry really want to be creative. And sometimes we have people that come from, a culinary background. They understand food pairings, and that's really what craft is getting into. But you also have to understand the business side of it, and that you might want to make some crazy recipe and you think it's going to be great, but if it doesn't sell, then it doesn't sell.
That's right.
And fortunately in craft beer right now, all the seasonal beers and all the sort of crazy new flavors that are coming out are there is a customer for almost everything that comes out, luckily. But you do still have to really think about your sales in the end, right?
Super.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay.
If I was much younger, and back in my day, they didn't have a university course that offered brewing as their major, and that's something I would have definitely been interested in back in the day. So there's an opportunity there for anybody who's interested in getting involved in the brewing industry. And there's a lot of people who are getting out of their day-to-day, desk jobs, getting into creating their own beer. So I thought it was really interesting.
Yeah, and they actually served us some beer tonight, which was kind of nice of them, and it was a pretty good beer.
Good pale ale. I don't like real fizzy beers, so this was real nice and smooth, and just a basic good pale ale. I think it was called Fuzzy Pale Ale.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
But it wasn't fizzy, it was fuzzy.
Yeah.
It was a fuzzy.
So it was a good night,
Yeah.
good event. They kind of give us what they do.
Served us and free wings.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong, right?
Can't go wrong.
Free beer, wings.
That's right.
Yeah.
Super. All right.
KPU, doing a good job.